Hi, welcome everyone to another episode of Let's Talk Special Economic Zones. I'm your host, Ainsley Brown, and in today's episode, we're going to discuss the future of zones is diversification, but that means different things to different zones. I came across an article in FDI Intelligence called "Is Diversification the Future for Zones?" And it's a very well written article, excellent. But and it was written in connection to Jebel Ali Free Zone in Dubai, and I must say I liked the article, but there's something about the article that didn't sit well with me. And then do some analysis and reflection. I figured, oh yeah, it's because it's saying everything I kind of believe in anyway. So I said, okay, that must be it. But then it still didn't rest well with me. And then I realized what it was. It was because it was speaking to one form of diversification and not another. And it's important that we get these two differences, because depending on where you are in your zone journey in terms of the country's evolution and development and also design from the initial phase, or if you're into just designing a zone program or redesigning your zone program, it's very important to know the difference between the two. So the article was speaking to service offerings and not diversification in the terms of industries and so forth, which is what a lot of people would think initially. When I saw it, that's what I thought, but that's not where it went. So before we get any further into it, as I usually do, I define and explain what a zone is. So a zone is a designated area by a government, by law, decree, regulation that says in this area that we have designated, we will, I don't want to say suspend, but we will apply different rules to that area as compared to the rest of the economy, including using certain levels of incentives, tax breaks, etc., to attract investment, whether local or foreign, to that area. And those can come in different forms, right? So they can come in the form of fixed areas. So these are zones or areas that are designated, so to speak, and then you come in and then get that declaration that's where your zone is. Or you could have a regime that's very flexible, that you can get a zone just about anywhere in the country, right? And also you have ones that are pre-built, and then you have to move into those pre-built spaces, and you can go as far as having plug and play. Everything is in there for you. So your factory, they've built it to your specifications, and you just go in, plug and play. Or if it's offices, computers, everything is set up for you already, right? So in terms of diversification, industries versus service offering. So the article, which I'll put down in the description of this video, spoke to service offerings and how to diversify. And what it really speaks to is the journey of the UAE, specifically Dubai and Jebel Ali, and how they have evolved over time as a zone. And I think the author kind of took it for granted that, that's their journey, and almost like everyone would be on a similar journey. And zones, while similar in many respects around the world, there's going to be some key nuances, key differences. So the different types of offerings that a zone would offer. So it's not just about setting up a area that commerce can happen very quickly. You get the tax breaks, and that's the focus, and you're just bringing the tenants in the area, and you lease them office space, you lease them factory space, you lease them warehouse space, all of those different things, right? The traditional type of zone. Now, particularly with the UAE, and I'll cover this in a different episode, the difference between what is offered in the zone and what is offered in the domestic is it has been eroded, and they're very similar now. So, for example, UAE, you used to have a foreign partner or a domestic partner to be able to operate in the domestic territory. Whereas with their zones, you could have 100% foreign ownership. Now they've changed that law so you can have 100% foreign ownership in the domestic territory. So that's one of the key differences between zones and but I'll cover that in a different episode soon. But the service offerings that the zones can offer, not just streamline customs regulations and these things, you have to think wider than that based on what the demands are, and even things that you wouldn't be necessarily contemplating, such as being able to offer renewable energy, so as your source of power, things such as upcycling or recycling facilities, so the waste is collected and it's upcycled because that's what you want, and you have to show your credentials in terms of green credentials and so forth. So the zone has to accommodate that. So that was their focus. But depending on where you are in your journey, you could still be looking at what kind of industries do I attract and bring in to my zone versus and here are the basic service offerings, including renting space. You may not be in a position yet to be offering certain diverse services, nor is it expected of you. So it's important to grasp that difference, that nuance, especially when designing a new regime or revamping a regime. That diversification means different things to different folks in the sense of different industries versus service offerings. So if you like this episode, please like, share, subscribe. If you want say hello or just leave me a comment down below. If you have some questions, leave a comment and I'll get right back to you. Bye for now.